shout out to Vince on the beat, by the way.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Miss Dorsila Obola. I have missed y'all. I have missed y'all so much, my friends. This show gives me so much energy, so much vibe. It literally just changes my life, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like the afterthought is really that is where we all need to be, especially this year.
Usinikumbushe vile nilikuwa na tension kwa magoti karibu nifariki. Yani results tu.
I think where was that? No, you actually receiving messages, so I was like peeking into the phone. I'm trying to see. Oh my goodness, what's happening? But yeah, thank God.
Sisi
He doesn't like.
zetu zilikuwa inaendewa shuleni, mzazi anakushika mkono, anaenda kuangalia kwa board, imeandikwa kwa board hapo hiyo. Thanks to Safaricom and the government
Like
for
it
making
real
it
talk.
easier for us.
Real talk.
Unaenda
How old are
unaumilia
you?
huko. Ni mubaba. I remember.
Ati vile shule kuangalia marks.
Mimi nakwambia unashikwa
I do not
mkono.
even relate.
Ilikuwa that deep.
I don't
Unaambiwa
relate
zinatoka
whatsoever.
kesho, umesikia kwa news, so you have to come, zimewekwa kwa notice board. So all of you with your E's, with your D's, na nyinyi wote mko hapo, wengine wakifurahi, wengine wamevunjika roho. Hapo nyinyi wote in the same space. You know how that feels?
Yeah.
Mzazi wako ako hapo alilipa school fees yake alimaliza. Wewe ukapata E. Na another friend wake wa church mahali amekuja mtu wake alipata A. So ako torn in between celebrating with the kid versus consoling your mother who thinks that they have also failed when you have failed.
How did you all cope? Like, seriously? What was the coping mechanism? You know, at this point, unless your parents can find out, but unless you share your index number, I think that's when other people can find out your results. Yeah.
Okay.
But at that time, if anyone wanted to find out your results, all
Yo.
they had to do is just walk into a school.
In your school,
They're
like Dorsila
literally on the-
amezoea kutupima hapo, acha tuingie tujue alipata ngapi.
Let me tell you. I remember when I was in high school, I was in State House Girls. Yeah.
Hey, pole.
All right. Anyway, it means nothing. Really. But I was
It
in
means State House
I was
Girls.
in State House Girls, and then the our boys' school, the other school that was upper school. So we did the same mock exam, and then the results were being posted on both schools. So you're like, oh, shucks. My boyfriend is gonna see my result. Na ringa hapa na chemistry zero.
Chemistry zote hata chemistry relationship siona hata chemistry relationship.
You know? Zero. Hey, that for me I feel like that was the most embarrassing thing I could have actually gone through. But then again also I was like, no, it's silly life.
It was so heartbreaking.
Silly life. Wow.
But now I think it's more good mentally when it comes to people, because not everyone, your neighbor, your nosy neighbor, your nosy friends who just want to come and see what was going on in your school, just walk in your school and just like, wacha tutafute Dorsila alipata ngapi mtoto, anapenda kusumbua watu, anapenda kuweka music very loud. Kwangu hapo
anakuanga na maboyfriends.
Kwa na maboyfriends. Na niliambia mama yake wacha niangalie.
Ndio hiyo, wacha tuone hii maringo yote.
And then upate D.
Yeah, estate.
Nilimwambia mama yake, huyu mtoto hawezi soma.
But then again, also, the thing is, I don't even think finding out the results is what the problem is.
What's the problem?
I feel like our education system is a bit flawed. Just how we celebrate people and their victories. You know, people graduate from high school. Going through high school is not easy. Like, mentally, is not easy. You can imagine, you join high school when you're 15 years of age.
Okay.
You finish when you're 18, right?
Right?
Yeah. You finish there about 17, 18.
Yeah.
That's those 4 years of your life. A lot is going on in your body, number one.
You're still figuring who you are.
Exactly. A lot is going on in your mind. A lot is going on in terms of you trying to figure out, how do I speak? How do I walk? How do I want to behave? What do I want to be known for? Like, who am I? You know, you're trying to figure out a lot of things. What values do I, like what values do I gravitate towards? You know, so a lot is happening in those 4 years, right? So mentally it's already difficult, we can say. Mentally already it's tough. Then add the pressure of the 8 subjects that you have to do. The chemistry, the physics, the biology, the CRE, the English, the Swahili, all of it. Add that pressure on top. Yeah? You have books from 1 to 4 that you have to go through and read. for all the subjects. Yeah, I put that inside. You have also a relationship you're trying to build. Yeah, whatever type of relationship, because real talk, young people are doing the most out here. They either have
You
a
don't want to
boyfriend
know.
or a girlfriend or whatever.
Or boyfriends
Thank
and
you.
girlfriends.
So they're doing the most. So a lot is happening in these 4 years. So you mean to tell me after 4 years, my ABC is the only thing you're going to recognize as
out of
all those 4 years that all the things I've worked on. A good example is Triomio, right? He's very good at his music. He's making money, but the school system doesn't celebrate that.
Yeah,
right? Doesn't celebrate talent the same way it celebrates the A's, the B's, the C's, and D's. You get, yeah? So with that happening, I feel like, not just Dorsila who got an A or a B, but Dorsila who has, oh my goodness, since you came through from Form 1 to Form 4, what were the clubs I was involved in? What were some of the things I did?
Was I good in football?
In football, was I good
in communication?
I could have passed mathematics and failed the rest of the subjects, but I'm good in maths. Yeah.
Maths, I can go and be an accountant
Yeah, exactly.
and do my maths.
Yeah, so if we take the time to actually acknowledge the good things, the positive things that our kids bring to the table, then we would have less depressed kids when exams results are being announced.
But I also feel like the parents play a really, really big role in this, because unapata hiyo mwaka ya mwisho, the work of the parent is to stress this child. We ukianguka kwanza, I've been doing this for you, like, instead of you hyping up this kid, like, I know you've been trying, but try and revise, try and do this. Our parents do not know how to execute that message.
Yeah. And I think also for me, let me give my example, because I remember when I was in Form 4, I had ulcers for the first and last time in my life. I've never had ulcers, ever.
Allah.
Ever. But in Form 4, I got ulcers. Even my mom called me and asked me, are you, like, but you can imagine the kind of stress I was under, or the pressure that I was under, like, I normally even say till now, right now I can, like, walk around Nairobi without coins in my M-Pesa. I'm broke. But I will not be as stressed as I was in Form 4. For real. I was super stressed because apparently if I was not going to pass those exams, apparently my life is over. Apparently I cannot do anything. Apparently, like, there's really nothing. And you can imagine at that time, there was no TikTok, there was no Instagram.
There's nothing to distract you.
There was really nothing to say, oh my gosh, I can become an Instagram model.
By the side, at least we have a lot of things going on.
Yeah, we have a lot of things going on.
So unapata mtoto anajua what they want to be when they're even in Form 1. Unapata.
So
ile enzi
yetu, man, it was crazy. But then again, seated on where we are seated, we can actually look behind and be like, you know what? You survive. You go through it and you survive.
Umetoboa.
Like, you find a way to navigate. Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing. The only thing that has ever given me hope, I'm sorry, this information might sound really bad to other people, but I'm just trying to be very real in our conversation. So I'm sorry for whoever it will offend.
Oh my.
Yani, the person that used to stress me out, huyu msee manze tu kila time. I'm not saying people should not be number 1. Msee manze aje kuwa number 2 life yake yote. So I thought that, this was in primary. I'm talking about primary. So tukamaliza, mimi niko huko mali niko, yeye huko mali yuko huko juu mali amezoea kuwa, then all akaenda shule nyingine, mimi nikaenda shule nyingine. So in my head I used to think, what wanted to number 1, 2, 3, number 10 do the successful people in life. Unapata. So I didn't know I'd even do better in high school. I was like, okay, for me, I'm a more practical person. I'm not a ABC person. Kama najua, kama sijui. You understand? And then I went and got my B. And then nikitoka huko nje, the first person nimepata job yangu ya kwanza. The first person I'm meeting is this guy. Stressed out, amekaa mahali huko Jivanji. I'm like, yo.
Well, you're stressed when you're in Jivanji, my friend. Sitting in a slab.
I've never sat there, but I was like, yo.
Things are thick.
I was like, yo, you are an A student. What happened? And mimi niko na makaratasi, I've been working for the past 6 months. No one he keeps on, people are saying I'm overqualified. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you can't do anything with your. I came to realize, okay, people think creativity is stupid, but actually creativity makes a lot of people not go into depression because you gotta be able to create something for yourself to earn a living. So us who are creative doing things, wewe una dance kwa class, wewe watu wanasoma, wewe una dance, wewe una rap, wewe una, the creativity people think is stupid is actually something that's making other people not get depression by going to sit pale Jivanji. Anaweza enda actually hata anaweza kosa kuwa beat maker, but ako ndani tu ya studio na rap so rap zake for 10 years. There's just something to distract him.
Therapy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Huyu jamaa hajui kitu ingine apart from zile vitabu alikuwa ameambiwa soma. So
And
this guy is like, why is life coming at me like this and I got A's?
But I think also it's just about being practical also as well. You see, there's this idea or this vision that your parents have for you. Let me, even if I was to give my own example, I was meant to go to school, come out, and find a career path. Yeah? But how I ended up here right now, I have no idea. You get?
Wewe uko tu hapo.
Yeah. But even for me, I thought my life would be so direct. Nitaenda, nifanye, niko mwalimu, ninge class, nifundishange. You know, like, and my life would just be in a classroom. But then again, I was like, Dorsila, no, like, I have to explore parts of myself. I have to explore my talents. I have to explore what I can contribute. You get? So, up until today, my mom still asks me, why are you not in a classroom? I'm like, no, life doesn't have to be one path that you think how it should, you know, if ufuate tu hiyo path moja hivyo. Sometimes ukiwa na kamawe hapo, cheza nayo, ruka hiyo mawe. Find out what's on the other side. Yeah? Explore yourself. Find out what am I good at. Because also you've gotten an A, right? But you have no self-knowledge. You don't know what your talents are. You don't know what you're good at.
Hata ujue ni nani.
Hata ujijui. You don't even know your values. You get? And that's why they normally say, utaenda uemploy huyu mtu wa A. Hata tu street smarts, how to negotiate.
Because you figured out who you are.
You see, how to negotiate things, how to talk your way through things, how to build relationships. They don't have those skills. Then they just have their A's, their papers, only for them to enter these employment spaces and being told, it's not enough, honey.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Yeah. So who are you beyond that? What other skills do you possess? You get? But then again, also we have on the other side, guys who failed, according to the standard, yeah, who now are depressed and feel like they cannot move on with their lives. I mean, like, this is the end of it. I saw another video on TikTok, and this girl was like, I didn't get a B. I've always been a B student. I got a C. And now I feel like my life is at the end of it. And I'm like, honey, you better look at yourself again in the mirror. You better look at yourself again in the mirror and remind yourself you were that girl. Because honestly, if we were all being defined by what we got in school, half of us.
Hata usiongee your story sana. Usishout.
Half of us.
Yes.
Half of us wouldn't even be. Like, for me,
half of like, karibu 3/4.
I'm like, honey, these grades, honestly, these grades, they don't determine your future. They don't determine who you will become.
In fact, they do not affect you in
any way. You know, they don't really affect you in any way. Does it mean, okay, for example, you're aiming to get into university directly, right? Now you have to explore the idea of a parallel program.
Yeah.
Or you have to explore the idea of starting with a diploma. Yeah? But if you have your eyes on the prize, I mean, it doesn't matter. You'll start with a certificate, do your diploma, do your degree. I have an auntie who did her diploma. The other day she was graduating for her degree. And she's in her 40s, late 40s.
Time. Chukua time yako, discover who you are. Do what's important first. Relax. You are important first. Do you first.
I don't know. This Instagram pressure. Iko kila mahali. TikTok is doing nini.
It is too much.
I'm like, calm down. First of all, be 17, be 18, be 19. And what do I mean by that? Explore. And find out who you are.
Yes.
Go for free events. Useful events, my friend. Yeah.
Umesema events. Which
Go for free events. Like go for trainings, mentorships, and things of that nature. Volunteer somewhere. Jesus. No one is trying to pay a 19-year-old. No one. Go.
By the way,
Yeah.
utaambiwa tu
Utaambiwa tu.
unataka 9,000.
Okay.
Chukua.
Maybe I'll give you an example. Like, I was just in my college years. You know, I was like, you know what? During holidays, I'm just here. What can I do? Let me tell you, these schools, they always need people. They like, there's no day a school will not need a person. Yeah. So me, I went there and I go and I sit with them. Here are my papers, but like for real, me I just want somewhere I can come every day in the morning, show me what to do, I do it. When the day is over, I go home. So instead of staying in the house doing your TikTok videos, honestly, I feel like TikTok just makes people stupid. I've said what I've said. I've said what I've said. It just makes you stupid because all you do, you sit there watching a video repeating itself 28 times. And what is it repeating itself? It's not adding any value to you. And let me tell you, what happens to your brain when you listen to something over and over again? It programs in your mind. So if all you're doing is swipe on TikTok and listening to the same stupid songs, stupid narratives the entire day, honey, like it's not adding any value in your brain at all. I do believe. So go out there, go look for opportunities because I do believe there are opportunities. And me, I went to the office and I was like, you know what? Just show me what to do.
I'll do it.
You want me to sweep where? You want me to talk to kids? You want me to teach? You want me to do whatever? Show me what to do. If you want to pay me at the end of this, pay me. If you don't pay me, it doesn't affect the quality of work I bring. I don't know if that bail of students, like people is out here, but yeah, I've said what I've said. Honey. Stop spending your time the entire day on TikTok. You're just making your brain.
It a freeze. Wacha nikwambie kitu moja. And also people need to be to open up their minds. Just because Aziad and other people are making money out of TikTok doesn't mean you also make money out of TikTok. You have to be really, yeah. You have to be really, understand. Just because Triomio is making money out of music doesn't mean you'll be a rapper who is a successful rapper. You need to figure it out. So you need to have multiple things, ideas that are going to actually help you go to the next level. Because if one does not go through and you've put your mind, your soul, your whatever, your time, if one does not go through because you think you're going to be a successful TikToker, it doesn't work, you're going to be depressed.
It doesn't work like that.
Yes. Na kuna pia watu wako na numbers na hawana nini, hawana pesa.
Kitu kwa mfuko.
Na kuna numbers mingi sana kwa hiyo TikTok. Kwa hiyo Instagram tu.
We've met them here.
Yes.
Like
ni watu tu. Ni numbers tu.
It is what it is.
Yeah, so you need actually to have something that's going to bring you money first. You need to get a money-making idea that's going to help you out when you're doing this other leisure, when you're doing this other music. I'm not saying it can't be a career. It can't be a career, but you have to have something that's bringing in money for you to be able to focus on that. Otherwise, you're going to get depressed. You're going to think life is unfair. And
But life indeed is unfair.
It's very fair. It's very fair for the people who want it to be fair. It is really fair.
I mean, the other thing I would say to just add to what you're saying is also take advantage of the detours. You know, the things that happen that you did not plan for example. Yeah. You went to school and you were really good in sciences and blah, 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 and you didn't pass in sciences. Does it mean now you can't go and work at a different place or do a different course? You get?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. At the end of the day, take advantage and sometimes just trust the process. Trust the universe. Trust that you are on the path, your path, the right path. Because for me, I do believe that everything really does happen for a reason.
True. There's someone who texted me and said, I'd really love for you to just say something on your show and all that. I'm trying to find who this lady is. We met in the National Theatre and she was really, really interested. She was called Jackie. Jackie texted me today in the morning and said, so Paps, nilisikia your advice when you're talking to people and you're talking to my brother, and I just felt like I am lost as a person. And nilipotea kitambo sana, like I even don't care about my studies, like kila kitu kwa hii life miuchukulia, like nothing is serious.
The encompass.
Yes. But I have noticed that I'm wasting myself. Please, Paps, help me get advice. If you don't call me because I'm shy, I can't talk to you, but if you speak it on the phone, no one knows we have a lot of Jackies. But just say it, and I don't have any bad intentions. I just need help. So do what you do better. So What kind of advice can you give Jackie?
What would I say? What would I tell Jackie? First of all, I'd hug Jackie and tell her, you know what, we've all been there, yeah? Whatever she's feeling or whatever she's going through, there's no one
Hata
who
area
hasn't felt
anajua,
like,
hata area
you know,
anajua
yeah,
anaenda straight.
anajua. At least she's even aware that that is what is happening to her, yeah? And I'd give her a hug and I'd tell her, you know what, we're in this together. We all feel like that sometimes. There are certain seasons of our lives whereby we feel like we don't know what we're doing.
Yes.
We don't know how we are navigating this planet. But you have to trust that it's part of the plan. Sometimes you have to lose yourself for a bit in order for you to find yourself. And even the moments you feel like you're very lost, it's very interesting because some of those moments you're actually not lost at all. It's an opportunity presented to you
to find yourself,
to now start asking yourself the real questions.
And that's why you find yourself.
Exactly.
And there's this one thing that I love Nini saying it all through Maramingi. When you're scared, that's when you jump. When you're very scared, you go like, hey, that's when you jump. Because I take being scared as something that prevents you to know what's going to happen on the other side. Understand? Yeah. Because you have, for example, wewe unaogopa kuruka kwa maji, and people do it every day. Understand? So you don't know how they feel. Like, hey, neza kukapo na, hey, neza drown. Try. Understand? Yes. You might never know inaweza kuwa the beginning of your life. You're like, unaenda wapi? Mimi nimeenda kudive. Because this is the only way I can relieve my stress. This is the only way I find myself. After hapo, you come out of the swimo, you sit down and your mind has opened up. You can be able to do something. Understand? So when you're scared, jump. Try that thing that you're scared.
I do believe like just asking yourself the hard questions and exploring those questions and sitting with yourself. You know, a lot of us, like right now, we look for escapism. We want to escape. We want to escape the hard emotions. We want to escape the difficult feelings. We want to not sit with them. And even just ask ourselves, how do I feel? And if you're sad, if you're lonely, if you feel lost, you feel like you're not on the path you want to be on, it's okay to sit and feel those emotions. But then again, also to ask yourself the hard questions. And not the hard questions for beating yourself up or shaming yourself. You get, like, for example, she's talking about she's not even that focused in school and whatnot. You know, when you focus on what happened in the past, you're not able to move forward. Yeah, what you don't realize, all you have is today, in that moment, So what the best thing to do is just to ask yourself, how do I pick myself from here? What are the next steps for me? What do I need to do today? What do I need to do tomorrow? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to speak to? And as long as you're searching, you will find.
True.
When you stop searching, then you don't find anything. When you ukikubali, ati sasa hii ndio life, kwendanga tu every day, ukaa jivanji, in the morning till evening. You stop.
It's something that you've set in your mind. No one can change that.
Exactly.
And I really love people who get bothered with stuff. If you have a child who gets bothered with things, love that child. Because that's someone who will not accept a situation to
I love
just
that.
pull them down. You understand?
Honestly, I really love that. Yeah.
Like for me, my second born is always bothered with things like, why are we eating with spoons? Like, I want to use my hands. Like, can I wash my hands?
There's the curiosity bit of
this is just too much work. Can I?
Out.
And then she's like, hey, eating with hands is really nice. Can you try it? Like, most of the time, nangalianga tu mama yake akizusha me, I'm like, people don't understand. This person is very, very creative and she's very independent. Understand? Hey, because I'm like, I'm not going to enter your fighting space. You just fight. But for me, what I see is someone who's powerful, because I'm waiting for her not to do it tomorrow. But the first thing she'll do it after being beaten up is the same thing. Like, we understand? So it helps you figure things out, try out new things. Awezi kuwa mtu mzima alafu ende kulala jivanji. Utaenda kuchukua handkerchief, uone nikichukua hizi handkerchief na nimeona watu wako na homa hapa, si niwauzie chwani na nimebeba mbao. Understand? People think it's stupid. I just saw someone starting a business nikiona right in front of me. Me, I'm sitting with a jamaa ananiambia ni aje. Me, life is really unfair. Alafu rain just comes out of nowhere. Wow, rain everywhere. Jamaa kaniambia bungoja kidogo, kachukua mse wa bike. Sijui akaenda wapi River Road. Came with a lot of umbrellas like 300. I'm like, yo, you were depressed a few seconds ago here. This guy made 4,000 nikimwangalia na macho. He was like, I wish you. We thank you for this bed, Manzi.
And I think
Thank you for
also,
this. Thank you for this. And then God says, hey.
uh-huh.
And yeah, hata wakitu wengine wacha nimpebe. Lakini we ame appreciate. This is too
I do
much.
appreciate. But then again, also sometimes, indeed, we recognize the fact that things, especially with the beginning of the year, the year starting and feeling like we have all these plans, all these things we're looking forward to change the core of who we are, things like losing a job, things like losing a parent, things like not getting that promotion or losing that business, losing that investment or whatever. So these things will happen and they can change us, but then again, we don't have to be reduced by them. We don't have to sit in the disappointment for forever. It's okay to admit that yes, it's uncomfortable, it sucks, but then again, we have to be able to go back to the core of who we are and appreciate that. I don't know what our listeners are thinking about when they're thinking about this conversation, but they can let us know on 0788 380030. Welcome to the Afterthought. We are talking about when life happens.
Imefanyika tutadu.
Sasa tuko hapo.
Umeboeka. Tutadu.
Tutadu.
Understand? You keep on sharing this, the link, www.iconradio.co.ke to your friends so they can be able to listen to this conversation. Because sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is actually find yourself after that thing has happened. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to do. That's what the kind of conversation we're trying to have. So this is a home of good, relaxing hits. This is a home of your mental space whereby we just talk about everything and anything that happens and revolves around mental health. This is the Afterthought. So as you listen to good, relaxing hits, again, I'll repeat the number 0788380030. Make sure you WhatsApp us, make sure you talk to us, and make sure you follow our social media platforms. That's Icon Radio KE, that's on Facebook, that's on Twitter, and that's on Instagram. Make sure you come, comment, niambie unafeel. Do you understand? Yeah, so that we know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, so that we actually have a conversation with you as the listener. So in the meantime, listen to cool, relaxing hits.
Shahuya shinyire utere na mama Monjini kulinda amba wangu Imbola ehobanga utere na mama Awinja amba wangu Abana bande banga atire na mama Awinja amba wangu Abana bande banga atire na mama Vanga saiva nevanga atire na mama Vanga elemi vande vanga atire na mama Vanga bekuta vande vanga atire na mama Wasikane vande vanga atire na mama
I'm having such a good time.
Where?
Uh-huh.
Let me first of all take this time to say thank you very much for every single person who's listening to the Afterthought right now. And we are really humbled for you just take your time and actually just sit down and actually just listen to our conversations and whatever is going through other our lives, through other people's life, and you being able just to comment on the show. So www.iconradio.co.ke is a place where you get this conversation. Make sure you share with your friends. My name is Paps, and I continue to give you more information as what is going on live. My SMS zile zinaingia and all that.
Talk to us. Let me know. What are people thinking? What are people saying?
Yeah, there's just a lady. I'm not gonna mention the name because I don't know if she's going to be comfortable. But she just said, "Aki umetumwa leo Paps. I ain't lying. On Sunday nimepewa suspension job for a mistake that I didn't do. Suspension here 2 good weeks. Perhaps I have a grandma who is recovering from cancer. She stays with my son and my sister, and I take care of them. I take care of all the expenses, and right now I am not at work. Niko na loan kwa bank, Paps. Ndio ili nile familia yangu. Yani nimesikia mkiongea hamjui tu vile mmenitia moyo."
Wow.
Yani asanteni sana.
That really just warms my heart, honestly. And we send us so much love and so much healing and so much encouragement, because honestly, how a lot of things can happen to us that make us feel like, yo, what in the world is going on, you know? And people are going through it. What wanakapitia?
A lot. Understand? People are really going through a lot of things, and for me, the one thing that I'm really grateful now, because when I started this show, I was just like, okay, let's just talk to people. But now it's become even serious, it's even more emotional to me. I was like, okay, someone just felt like, yo, I am touched, and you've given me a reason to live one more day. Understand? That really makes me feel really, really nice, because this year I told myself I don't want to live a perfect life. I want to understand what goes on, and I want to do good. That's the life I'm living this year. And one of my projects that I've put, I have a feeding program for a street kid. I said I'm not going to overdo ati nimchukue nimpatie nyumba. My work is just to make sure I have 20 pairs of shoes. I'm going to take 1 or 2 or 3 every time I feel like, okay, yeah, I can make sure nimlete kama 2 pairs nimpeleke. I meet him every Saturday, Kenya National Theatre. Nampatia tungo kidogo, na make sure amekula. He tells me how his week is. Right now, from January to now, amewacha kuvuta gum. That is something that I really, really love. He can get a haircut. He goes somewhere and gets a shower. Understand? A few people have plugged in. Wanaenda wana make sure every single day he gets 1 day meal. Na mali anakula hiyo meal, anaweza osha hapo, and then he can get 200 bob. So that means tomorrow in the morning he can get something to eat and actually to maneuver. Last week we got him I just feel good, because if I was like, we keep on blaming politicians, we keep on blaming people who are on top. Why are you not doing this for other people? Why are you not what are you I asked myself, what are you doing for anyone? Understand? I'm like,
but seriously though, I like what you're talking about, because at the end of the day, even if we had the perfect governments and we have had the perfect institutions and the perfect systems, it doesn't change the fact that things that are inconveniencing, things that are sad, things that we don't plan for, it doesn't mean that they will not happen. You get? Yeah? Because sometimes you can have all your ducks in a row, right? Uko na pesa yako iko hapo enough. Uko na like una feel sahi nimefika. Like nothing can go wrong at this point. And then in that moment, something goes wrong. So what do you do then? You know, how do you change the narrative? How do you change the story? How do you deal with it? Because sometimes also these things happen to us to wake us up, to shake us up, and to be like, oh, okay, to bring us back to life. Yeah. And sometimes just changing how we view these situations, changing how how we are in these situations, because also it's not about the situation. Sometimes it's our positioning in the situation, because some of the times where we are struggling with a situation or that stressful thing, we are not struggling with what has happened, we are struggling with accepting what has happened.
Or what is even happening? Maybe
So,
it might still be going
for
on.
example, you've been left by your significant other, yeah. So now you're not eating, you're not moving. I'm not saying don't be sad for a while,
Yo,
but then
eat.
again, at the end of the day, you're the one choosing the stress, because you can accept it and be more at peace and be more like, you know what, it has happened, it has happened.
There's nothing you can do
I am
about it.
suffering. I'm putting myself through suffering by stressing about it. I'm putting myself through suffering by allowing it to define the rest of my days, to define the rest of, the rest of the year. I've met people who, when you look at them like this, they don't look like their troubles. They don't look like their problems. When you just pull a seat and sit next to them and hear their stories, you're like, and how do you afford to look like this? How do you afford to have this perspective? How do you afford? They have understood something. We are not special.
True.
I am not special. I can walk around feeling like I'm the prettiest, baddest big girl. Yeah.
Karibu ikuje.
I'm the baddest, yeah.
Alikuwa anasema biscuit.
I could never be left. I could never be needed. I could never, like, this could never happen to me. But it happens because I am not special. And I think sometimes even just accepting the fact that we are not special, it allows us, it releases us into the next realm. We're like considering it can happen to me or happen to her. Then I'm like, I can accept it. Because there's really nothing. I am human just as they are human. We are all existing in this flawed world. Yeah?
Yeah.
And you accept too, it helps us a lot. Because Babu, for example, even our friend here who's been suspended because of something that she didn't do, right? She can live in stress. She can live in agony. But sometimes, kukubali, by the way, niko home, siko job. I might as well sit and watch TV until suspension iishe.
Na niambie tu wase yenyewe sina.
Na nirudi job. You get.
But again, I understand her because I've ever been in that situation before, because most of the time is not you're not the problem most of the time. The problem is the people that you feed. They don't understand that you don't have. They keep on they understand you for 10 minutes. Like unaweza, for example, let me tell you, as a person who's been in marriage for a very long time, you sit down with your significant other, you tell them, hey, niaje busy leo kwenda poa, I don't think I'll have money until next week. And then they are like, I understand. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing she does, and you slept together in that same bed. In fact, maybe she's the one who went to the toilet and you did not move from that bed. But the first thing she will do when she taps you, like, so what are we going to do about breakfast?
Yeah, because look at these 3 people looking at me. They
yes,
want to eat.
Like, now, I know it's hard, but now what are we going to do? Like, can you tutadu? Yeah. And for me,
you carry that burden.
Let me tell you one thing. I salute responsible people. I'm not going to say men or women.
True, for sure.
I salute
I feel like I could give you a handshake right now.
Responsible people, because you do not have a break. You understand? You will tell people that you don't have, and they will nod their head like, they'll give you a hug.
Let me give you an example. My dad, when he was alive, he was soon rest in peace. This man, literally, he would remove his wallet and you would see there's nothing
inside.
Yeah. But I would look at him and I'm like, this guy is unfazed. He will sit down. Na washe TV la tukae. Let's watch. Atawambia, I don't have right now. And even when you go with a need to him, he'll be like, okay, Dorsila, I've had whatever your need is. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
When it comes, it comes.
It taught me something. He sat in acceptance. It is not here now. Once you understand the thing about money, there's something he understood about money that I feel like our generation really still doesn't understand.
And I think it will take a lot of time for them to understand.
Exactly.
A lot of
time. And once there's a need, he understood the money will come. And when you resist, and sometimes you resist with your energy, you resist with your emotions, you resist by getting frustrated. But when you trust and you have faith, because at the end of the day, it is trust and faith that we have.
Yeah.
That is all we have. I mean, we don't have any other thing. But when you trust and you have faith, then you're able to change your perspective and attract the things that you actually need for your life. And also, this can come off as um, toxic positivity. It can come off as that, yeah. But being positive does not mean you ignore the negative that is happening. It really doesn't mean that. It means accepting the negative that is actually happening to you, and accepting and being sad, crying, allowing the emotions to flow, just allowing them to be there. You know, in this show we cry.
A lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
we cry, but you have to accept what is going on. You have to, and that acceptance is just, it makes such a huge change. And also, things will surprise you. For one negative thing that is happening in your life, there are three positive things already happening.
Gani hizo? Hebu nisifundishe hii theory.
Nikufundishe hiyo.
Sijui.
For one negative thing, there are three positive things going on in your life. You know.
Na nangoja kuzisikia hizo positive things.
Let me give one negative. Yeah, that is
one negative.
For one negative that is happening, there are probably three.
So it can be any random three positive things.
Any random three positive things that may be happening in your life. And even for people that, for example, you lose a job unexpectedly, you know, like kitu imefanyika tu, job imekatika when COVID happened, sindio? Yeah. And me, I remember, like even before COVID, where I used to work, we were closing the office because we didn't have money.
Okay.
So we were transitioning to go work from home because there was no money. We couldn't sustain ourselves. Yeah. So, but immediately COVID happened, we were like, sasa, what will we afford? We won't even afford salaries. Like nothing will be afforded. But for that moment where we felt like, what? Chini. That's the next few years, 2020, 2021, the company has never made money the way it made money.
Wow.
So some of the things that they look like detours, they look like bad news. When you look at them, they look like bad news legit. You know, you have no idea what that is setting you up or the journey that is ahead. And this is, at this point in the show, we have to say, trust the process, trust the universe, trust yourself.
But let me tell you also, that's the hardest thing to do.
For
you
sure.
cannot be able to trust the process if you don't trust yourself.
Sure.
Because it starts with you as a person. Because ukikuwa mtu unaona mbele, you understand, okay, I understand that this happened, this is bad, it still does not change who I am as a person. Because I failed yesterday doesn't change me as Dorsila or me as Paps. If we learn that huwezi trust process na ujitrust hata wewe mwenyewe. Utatrust process gani? Huwezi. You understand? Because
actually, I like what you're saying, Paps, because if you don't see yourself, if you don't see your value, if you don't see how beautiful you are, if you don't see how talented you are, if you don't see the value you bring, then you're here trying to trust the process and you don't trust yourself. You don't trust everything. Like, imagine everything that is good on this planet. Now imagine you. You're also part of the planet. Yeah. You're something good. You're something worth to be invested in. You're something worth to be talked about. You're worth. Like, you have worth. So if you don't see that worth in yourself, then stupid things keep happening to you. Things that are inconveniencing. Things that are discouraging you. But already, you are at a personal level uko chini. Now imagine someone else.
Wow.
It's gonna be impossible to navigate.
And there's this one thing that I like telling people, discipline goes all the way. You can't trust yourself if you don't have discipline. You have to have a lot of discipline in you to understand that you're not perfect, and to understand that you are the thing, you are the person.
It's me. It's me.
Yeah, I'm the ish.
It is
you understand?
you.
And that needs a lot of discipline, because every time you want to tell yourself, me man, this is we unajua nani? They're like, okay, I remember who I am now. You understand? So it needs a lot of rectify, it just needs a lot of discipline to just put in the work, and for you to be able to go to the next level of understanding who you are, because you have to trust yourself, then trust the process, and then understand who you are. And then now trust the other processes that make the universe bring the actual blessings back to you that you're actually manifesting in your life. Yes, because imagine wewe umeumia sahi, it's like right now literally umedungwa hapa na kisu cha una bleed. You know, you can't think of any other thing apart from that wound.
Yeah.
You're like, idamu ni mingi, idamu ni mingi. So that's what people are going through in life right now. You understand? They're busy focusing on that wound instead of focusing on something else. Hiyo wound ulidungwa jana. It's 3 weeks later, you're still looking at that wound. You understand? Yeah. Hata body yezi heal your wound haraka because uko mauye mingi sana. Uko like, hey, na hii mguu. Hata unajigonga tena inarudi tena inakuwa wound. You understand? So you don't give yourself room to heal. Like, okay, niliumia, but I know after 1 week nitakuwa sawa. Kuna watu wanaongeaga hivyo, but kuna mtu amejigonga kidole ako like, unajua kidole sasa siwezi shika kalamu. Na kuna mtu ako like, unajua nimejigonga kidole, but I know after 1 week I'll be okay.
It's just the same
Two
thing
different people.
as going to the gym. You go to the gym today, you do leg day, you can't even sit to go to the washroom.
Yes.
But if you ignore leg day the next day, then there's nothing you're doing. You're not growing from a negative experience.
Yes.
You get, yeah? So sometimes growth from a negative experience is pushing through it. You know, like just pushing through it. Because at the end of the day, fine. For me, I believe in slowing down. I believe in taking time. I believe in all of that. But sometimes the call is resilience. That is what we're being called. Yeah? And there's something even my own parents tell me, like, they will just look me straight in the eye and tell me life is not easy. But the difference between you and someone who, conquers in the next 10 years, the difference is what you will do with the lemons you serve. What are you going to do with them? It's sounds like a harsh message, but once you're on the streets, going through it, kapitia, that's when you're like, and you're what are you gonna do with the lemons that you're being served? And sometimes being uncomfortable is also good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It teaches us things. It teaches us that you also have to be selfish with yourself. Yeah.
True. A lot.
You'll have to be selfish with yourself. Yeah. Because you're meeting everyone's demands, but you're also ignoring yourself. You know, you'll have to set boundaries, right? Yeah. You have to be selfish with yourself. A little anxiety is better than no anxiety at all. Imagine if no one was anxious about anything.
Well, uko
tu. Nothing worries you.
Well, uko tu.
A little worry is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it reminds you you're human. It reminds you there's something you need to work on. It reminds you that you have to grow. It actually indicates that you care about something. You care either about your health, you care about your loved ones, you care about your career, you care about being able to sustain yourself. But where we draw the line is now when it gets to, now you have an anxiety disorder and all of that. But also accepting the fact that life on this planet is it cannot be planned. It cannot be planned at all. So you have to accept, by the way, life ain't a plan.
Yeah, true.
Life iko tu vile iko. Yeah? Some bad things will happen to us and it's okay. And once you are okay with that, then you can go through anything really.
There's something that you've said about thinking about yourself first. This year, there's something I've put aside myself. I give myself every day, hata kama niko home, 1 hour to myself. And my daughters were asking me, why are you saying that this time is your time? I'm like, it's my time. So what are you doing with your time? I'm sitting. Just sitting. So no one is allowed to come to this room. So you're just sitting alone doing nothing. Yes, I'm sitting alone doing nothing.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Yes. So you're not allowed to come in this room until my 1 hour is over.
It's over, yeah.
And then when you hear my alarm, now you can come in. And then they were like, so they went and asked their mom, why is dad all of a sudden giving himself 1 hour of doing nothing? So we should also give ourselves 1 hour of doing nothing.
Yes,
I was like, yes.
That?
You should give yourself 1 hour of doing nothing. But I know there are kids, they don't understand sometimes you need that space. And just in that moment of just sitting and just gazing, I don't have my phone, I don't have anything. I'm just listening to very relaxing music. I'm just there.
Present.
I'm just present.
Yeah.
Yani, I felt like I've rebooted myself. Like after Apple, I'm like, okay, now I need
Now,
to start
now
something.
I know exactly where I'm starting from. Yeah.
Yes, now I need to do that and
Uh-huh.
that and that and that and that. And then I realized, kila mtu alikuwa like, okay, we've given you 1 hour. Now that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, that's it. I don't have a life. I'm what you guys.
What do you mean? What's going
You understand?
on?
Because
Okay.
where? Let me tell you one
Mhm.
thing. It's a handful. Sometimes you're home. Everything is on you. You understand?
Mhm, mhm.
And that 1 hour actually makes a lot of
A
difference.
lot of
Understand?
difference.
A lot of
And also,
difference.
just something that I also just to add to this, how we speak to ourselves really matters. What you tell yourself matters. When you tell yourself, there's something on my status, and I was even just like I put it there because every time I'm going on my phone, I want to see it.
Mhm.
And I've written, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll know exactly what to do.
Okay.
And I'm gonna even just focus on women because our intuition. Sometimes you're caught up in a problem, and the reason why there's no clarity is because you have not been quiet. Just the way you are saying, you've not been quiet. So, for me, every night before I go to sleep, if I have something that's really bothering me,
You just
I
speak
sleep
quiet.
and I say, when I wake up tomorrow, I'll know exactly what
What to
to do. Whatever comes my way, I'll know exactly
How to
what
tackle it.
do, how to go through it, how to tackle it. I will cry. Trust. If there's anything I promise you, Paps, for me, I will cry. Tears.
You have to
I
cry.
will cry. Yeah. Anyway, my mom sometimes she teases me about it because I'm very emotional. Yeah, I can cry about anything. Happy, sad, whatever. Like I can cry. One thing I will cry. I
Machozi
promise
ziko
you.
za ukwelo.
Yes. Yeah, I'll cry and I'll just be a baby about it. But one thing that I tell myself when I wake up in the morning, I'll know exactly what to do. I'll know the next step. I'll know how to handle a situation, whatever difficult situation that is in front of me. Then the other thing I remind myself, it's not only me who's gone through this. Yeah. I'm like, someone in Canada is also going through this.
Everywhere around the world, people are going through the same. There's this one
Exactly.
thing that umesema about I'll know exactly what to do.
Mhm.
People don't understand that. Unajua ukikuwa uko baby class ulikuwa unaambiwa ujipange indirectly. When I wake up in the morning, I wash my face, I brush. That's a kid being trained on
Yeah.
plan the day. Alafu utakuwa mtu mzima, alafu unaamka asubuhi like, what are you doing today? I don't know.
Young people.
You do not know what you want to do.
Uh-huh.
Someone amekaa kwa kitanda mpaka saa 8, hajabrush hata hiyo meno, hajaosha hata hiyo. Basi anza na hiyo anasari, basi osha uso, basi alafu brush.
Ndio,
your
just
teeth.
do the basic for the day
Do
and
the
then achana
basic,
nayo.
alafu achana na, alafu
Wachana nayo,
rudi.
rudi tu.
You get?
Even the other thing also is just making your bed and what that does to your
No, you can't
mental.
go back.
You can't go back in. And then also it's like spikes something in your mind like you've done something.
Yeah.
I've woken up. It's like you've communicated to your brain that now you're ready for action.
Now,
I'm ready for
what am I going to do next?
Yes.
Unapata mtu amekaa hivi mpaka saa 8. Why? Sasa nikiamka naenda
Naenda
kudu.
nafanya.
It's a mentality that needs to stop with young people. It's a
Mhm.
mentality that needs to, I think they need to be coached or just spoken to, because the devil of failure is there when you don't know what to do next.
I think there's a young girl that she texted me like because I normally do mentorship. She texted me and she told me this is like a month after KCSE is over.
Mhm.
So she texted me and she was like, I'm tired of being at home. I'm tired. I want to go make money, and I'm like,
Make what?
go make money.
Where?
I'm like, girl, sleep. Osha vyombo,
Eh.
osha nyumba, lala. Whoever told you you're gonna sleep sijui after form, you're not gonna sleep. Use that 1 month that you don't even know what your results are to rest. Sometimes we try to hurry ourselves into things, especially young people. These 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. You want a relationship at 19. You don't even know yourself. You don't even know what you value. Us as 30, we are suffering and
you get
struggling.
married at
Or
20
just imagine you at 19. You want to get married at 20. You don't know what you value.
and you're so in love.
All
you
you're
can't
looking for
even
is a
breathe.
relationship. And you want to be employed short term to earn 5,000 so that you can have money to be going out.
That's
I'm
why
like,
these
girl,
kids.
no.
That's why these kids kill themselves, because
Mhm.
amejiingiza kwa mtego wengine. ashapenda huyu mtu na roho yake yote na hawezi fikiria kitu kingine apart from you huyu jamaa. Alafu huyu jamaa pia ni mtoto pia anampenda, alafu they don't know that also love is very expensive.
Indeed.
Because mtawachiwa, okay, mnapendana, haya pendaneni, rent inaongoja, tumbo zinangoja. Now parents, because they are so angry at you guys, okay, go get married. Go get married.
And then they also tell you, like, at the end of the day, you wanna be an adult, that it comes with responsibilities. And you know, and you have to think about it. Like I was telling someone, oh my goodness, if I can't sleep and I'm a single woman living alone, you can imagine married folks don't sleep. They don't even close. They don't blink. With
someone asked me, Paps, niliona ulipost status 12:30 and 4 ulikuwa umepost ati umetoka. I'm like, yes. Welcome to the real world.
You see, responsibilities are looking at us. So also for me, I would say to young folks, like, don't rush growing up. Be young.
Allow yourself to be young.
Yeah. Take advantage of that. Be young. Learn what you need to learn. Talk to older people and talk to them about things that matter. Yeah? Ask them, how did you navigate these years of your life, these 19 to 25? What happened in those 7 years? Maybe I got pregnant and it was not the best experience. You get.
And then utafunguka kichwa.
You know, maybe I got an STD, my friend. Yeah.
www.iconradio.ke www.iconradio.ke. Tukianza kufika mambo ya gonorrhea itakuwa noma. So Radio KE. That's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Continue talking to us. Thank you very much for the people who are sharing in their comments. Thank you very much for people who are listening to us from wherever you're listening to us from. We are really, really grateful. It's a really open topic whereby if life happens, what happens to you? So, hey, if you have something that's bothering you, thank you very much for the person who just shared their story. Please talk to us and tell us, Paps, Dorsila, Mina Filivi, and I would really love if you told me what to do. We'll try and see what we can be able to share with you. If it helps you, so for now, cool relaxing hits as we continue this conversation in our last segment. Wacha nikwambie kitu moja ile pia nimelan sai.
Hebu niambie.
Kukuwa mtoto saa zingine, when someone calls you a kid, that's one of the biggest insults someone can call you. Because being young saa zingine inakanga kama disability. Ushaona tu mtoto haelewi. Yani haelewi. Like, hii ni moto na itakuchoma. Alafu unachukua tu mkono, unaweka hapo. And then someone calls you a kid. Like, you don't even know who you are. Hata mimi nimekubeba tu. Like, nikisema tu niwache, utachomeka, utaungua, utadungwa. Yani your life has ended. That term is very powerful.
I like that because it is reminding us to be teachable. Yeah, I like that because even for me, I have to be teachable. I don't know everything at my age. You get, and you can't walk into a room here. Like, for example, tuingie kwa room hapa na tupate Jeff Koinange. You know, he's a seasoned journalist, seasoned presenter, all of that, and then I start acting like I know more than him. It's impossible, honey.
Kuna venye itakuwa ni ngumu.
Itakuwa ngumu
Kidogo.
You know, jikubali and allow yourself to be taught.
Yes.
Yeah.
And learn because they've understood something that we are being introduced to. Understand? Because sai tuna learn pole pole as we go in. You might be good at the way you speak, but the experience beats what you know.
That's true.
And the experience is very powerful. Beats what you know because at the end of the day, the hardest thing that we have as humans is to accept to be taught. Unaona tu wewe unajua. Wewe ni huyo msee.
And we can use the same principle even with life. Acha pia life iko funza because life pia is here to teach us. Yeah? We learn whatever we need to learn at the end of the day. Not all experiences happen to us for us to learn anything. You know, you're not hungry so that you can learn how to be hungry. No. You're just hungry. Sometimes you don't have to bring meaning into things. Sometimes unakubali imefanyika. Maybe there's nothing to learn there. The life feels over sometimes.
Saa zingine muona ni kama God. God did things very purposefully because imagine God angekuwa amekuachia mwili yako wewe ndio uicontrol. Ati utacontrol sele utasikia njaa. Unajua if you don't have discipline, means people could have let their body suffer and die because of not being healthy and all that. Right now God said hiyo mwili itafanya venye inafaa kufanya. So it's automatic. Haina food, njaa. Hujakunywa maji, utasikia kiu. Because we are very indisciplined human beings. So imagine mtu ako like, mimi sitaki kwenda kuhustle so sikuli. Utasikia njaa mpaka sile ndasema nitasikia njaa. How many people could have died? Because now the body ingekuwa inakufa na ikwambia inakufa. One day ina shut down rushu. And then you're walking in tao because you've not eaten for 1 week because of your own reasons, because you did not want to go to work and hustle and get money. Yeah. And also in my head, I was thinking like, okay, the reason as to why we are working so hard is just because of the stomach. Have you ever thought of that? I swear. Tumbo inafanya ukue creative. Tumbo inafanya ukue creative.
I like that.
Utengeneze kitu ambayo Paps atakuja kununua upate pesa. You understand? And now Paps, because Paps is hungry, Paps has to go and get a job. To go and get this food. But akishapata hii food, because ushafanyia kazi hii pesa, unafikiria, ndio nikae vizuri juu nishachoka. What am I supposed to do? Let me buy that couch.
Yeah.
All this comes back to the stomach. Can you imagine if the stomach was omitted?
Imagine all the creative ideas.
Why? Na umeshiba.
You know.
Umeshiba.
So I like what you're saying, and what you're saying basically, it's in our nature to be creative. It is who we are.
Yeah.
We are creative as human beings.
Ni vile watu wataki
it is
kufikiria.
Innate. It is who we are.
Ni vile watu wataki
We
kufikiria.
are solution makers. We create solutions for ourselves, for other people, and we just need to tap into that energy. Yeah.
And then you're calling someone else a genius. Ati we ni mnoma. Yo, just sit down and give yourself time. You see how you can be able to think.
Actually, yeah, for sure.
You're not giving your brain a chance to actually just explore nature and come and know that, mi kama Dorsila naweza tengeneza simu.
Mi personally sense tengeneza simu, hata sila desire, lakini kuna kitu naweza tengeneza. Si ndio? Yeah? I can create beauty in my own life.
Yes.
You know. And sometimes also, I want to challenge our listeners, actually. This can sound a bit interesting or weird to you, but when you feel stuck, find a project. something you can do with your hands. You can paint, you can draw, because what you're doing with in the physical, you're also allowing it to manifest also in your spirit. You get? So you'll see you've created something out of nothing. You were given a piece of paper, you drew something, now you have a beautiful picture or whatever. And what that does to your spirit, it lets you know that whatever answers you're looking for, whatever creativity you're looking for, is also within you. Or for example, just take a plant and a pot and plant something. Plant something. It will show you, utakuwa unalala hapo every day unaangalia, after 7 days something has sprouted. Then you begin to trust the process. The first 7 days there was nothing. But on the 8th day, there was something. A seed was planted. So whatever process you're on, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to start a business, sometimes all you need, use your hands. Touch something, build something, create something with your hands. Make time to be creative. Make time to actually be a human being on this planet without thinking that you just have M-Pesa to go and get your money from M-Pesa. Honey. Make something with your hands. It definitely helps us to, it inaambia akili kitu.
It triggers, and it expands. Inafanya akili yako isikae idle.
Speaking of which, hata niko tomatoes nafaa kwenda kupanda.
Ala. Landlord anajua.
Ataambiwa, atapelekewa nyanya.
Nasikia mwingine usipande kitu kwa nyumba. People, again, it's okay. And other people are doing that in other countries, and actually they're having even farms. Uko juu, mali watu wanatumia sijui kuenda kurelax, mtu ametengeneza a whole shamba uko juu ya. Zitogaje greenhouse uko juu. Kuna mboga juu ya building. Mwenda huko China uone mboga juu ya building, huko building ile mnaeka ati balcony sijui. Someone, hiyo ni shamba. Atakula wiki mzima hapo ukisemaga tu vile umesota sijui life is hard.
Yeah, those solutions by this kwa mikono yako. The solutions are right in our hands, and the ones you really don't have solutions for, all you can do is sit through the process.
So we can conclude this by saying, what was your uncomfortable moment? What just happened in your life and you just said like, hey, yo, it may happen and I don't know what to do. Stuff.
For me, over the past few years, what happened, I always go back to this because this is the thing that has really changed my life. When I lost my dad, that was the thing that really, honestly, the person I was before my dad was alive is not the same person sitting on this seat. And that is the biggest change I've ever experienced in my life. And watching him go through the illness that he went through and just going through it, watching and knowing that there's nothing I can do. Literally.
Where uko tu?
Me namuangalia tu hivi as he's going through his process.
The best you can do is sorry.
Is say sorry. The best I can do is pray. The best I can do is just pray and cry. And I allowed myself to just go through that situation without trying to change it, without just allowing it to be what it is and taking in the lessons that I could take from it. So for me, that's what I went through. Indeed, the person I am today is definitely very colored by that experience. And for me, it also has reminded me to live a more fuller life. Yeah. And to know that I'm sorry, we shouldn't be saying this, but shit happened. But here we are.
It was really powerful because it's the same. I relate with you when you're saying you're not the same person. For me, when my mom passed, I didn't know how people who don't have parents how they live. I didn't understand. Well, I was like, sasa unaendaga kwa nani sasa? Uko kwako alafu unaendaga. Ukikuwa na watoto wataenda wapi? What will they do? And my mind was there. I was like, what do people do? But again, now I know what people do. People live their life. They continue living their life. Yes, people continue.
Some days we wake up, we cry, but
yes, yeah, you wake up and it hits you so hard that you cannot be able. Because also I was also a part of my mom's healing process, akiumia and all that. I'm there in Kenyatta telling her, lazima ukule. Wewe unataka kupataje dawa ikusaidiaje na ukuli? I'm there all through. So say akiishia, I was like, okay. Because it doesn't hit you. I'm like, okay, so this person is not moving anymore,
Yeah.
and
They're
I am
not
there.
here and they're not coming back.
Yeah, you understand?
Mhm.
That thing hit me so hard. I was like, okay, now and I have to call my sisters. I was confused because at that time, Kwanzaa, I'm not hurt because I don't understand. Because I'm here, she's here. I'm like, hi. Okay, wacha tu niwapigie simu niwaambie, ama niwaache. You don't understand. And then it starts kicking in. Because now, people start coming to tell you, you know what, we are sorry. We are sorry. And then when I got pissed off is when now they came and covered her face. Like, why are you covering her face? Why like, we have to cover her face so that we take her to the. I was like, okay, now it's happening.
It's happened. But life
Yes.
happened. Life has happened. Right? It's right there, right in front of
That
you.
was the first day I sat on a parking lot till morning.
Continue
Nimewasha
feeling.
gari. Like, si nimewasha niende home. Gari
You are numb and
liguruma
you're not able to move.
until ikazima. Like, all the fuel inside. Ikaisha. It's 6 in the morning. Like, I'm like, okay. Nilikaa hapa saa 4 usiku. Now it's 6. I've not moved. Woshi akakuja akaniambia, hey, kwani what's happening? You've been here the whole night. Gari inaguruma tu and you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You're not moving. Your windows are down.
What's
I
that?
was like,
What's happening?
the only thing you can do right now, tafuta mse wa nduthi kwa tafuta mafuta. That's the only thing you can help.
That
Because
was,
even if
that was the immediate action that needed to happen.
yes, like
True,
because hata
by the way.
nikuambia
Uh-huh.
ni nini inaendelea
Haiwezi kukusaidia.
haiwezi kukusaidia because now I have 84 missed calls from my sisters who don't understand what has happened.
I feel like when these things that happen to us that no one really can help us because hapo hakuna mtu
Sasa unauliza nani, unaambia
hakuna mtu
nani?
unaweza uliza and hizo ndio hizo when life happens but what we remind ourselves is we have it in us to go
Yeah.
through it, like the human capacity to survive, the human capacity to be here, the human capacity to be resilient is unbeat.
Yeah.
It is unfought. There are people who have gone through so much as well, so much.
Yeah, it
And
has
then-
made me more thick-skinned because now, if maybe I'm not saying it in a bad way, maybe if she was alive, kuna vitu singekuwa naweza fanya.
Kweli. Kuna vitu unge dream.
Eh,
if she
kuna
was
vitu-
alive,
yeah,
it's
you
true.
understand.
Yeah.
But right now, the urge of making her proud is
It's
so high
Yeah.
that I've become a totally different person. I am even like, hey, wewe ni wewe.
My dad used to be a very big risk taker. So even for me, I'm like, even me, he survived the risks. Even me, I'm taking risks.
Hey, www.icon.co.ke is the place you're getting this conversation. And I know sometimes we go very deep. I know sometimes we talk to people. I know sometimes people get informed on how to deal with their lives when just listening to these conversations. Thank you very much for the people who've been just texting in and telling us what they've been going through and how our show has helped them just give them hope for another day. And thank you for every single person who's followed us on social media because yeah, that's something that's very powerful because it means you listen to us, it means you've given us your time, and time is actually money, and you've put your money on us. So yeah,
We're
that's
not
really
here
good.
to overcomplicate things. We're not here to give you X plus Y is equals to X, Y, Z. No. We're just here to give you something to think on, something to just consider. Yeah, actually, that's our call for today. Consider everything that we said today, and whatever stands out for you, and you pick it and you run with it. I mean, I think our work would be done. Yeah, it's really your girl, Miss Dorsila Ola.
This
Next
is
week,
uh-huh,
Tuesday,
uh-huh.
tuko hapa na nyinyi.
Kuanzia saa 10 mpaka saa 12, and this
Ndio.
is Paps_MC, all social media platforms. Just know that life happens. For now, till next week, listen to cool, relaxing hits.